Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. If you are new or welcome, if not, welcome back. Let's get into this video because this is lengthy. We have to get right into it. So, you want to know about Archer Review. Would I recommend it? Would I not? Let's see what this is all about. This is a little bit lengthy, like I said, so let's get into it. First things first. If you want to see this status on your dashboard, listen to this video all the way through. You're going to be fine. Now, let's get into it with the dashboard. I'm going to insert pictures so you guys can see what it is I'm talking about. Why? Because it's one thing to talk about it, but to see a picture or to see a video of it, the visuals will totally help, especially if you're like in between choosing a program to help you with your NCLEX success. So with my dashboard, I'm going to show you what I did because it's funny. So I ended up purchasing Archer twice. Why? Because the first time I was like, you know what? Let me just get my very first early days of studying for my board's exam. I said, okay, you know what? Let me just do test bank alone. I'm gonna be fine. Let me just do that. I'll be okay. The more and more that I got into it, and I got into it, meaning, the more practice questions that I did, and of course they give you rationales, but if you do the question bank only, you can read the rationales, but you won't be able to hear the rationales that they're stating. But I know that if you choose any other program, like any other package, so I mean to say that they have, you will see that. So let me show you what the dashboard looks like, and you can see what it is that I'm talking about in terms of the questions that you use, the questions that you have not used yet, the percentages that you have, in terms of, okay, like how much more you have, based on how many practice questions you want to do, all of that. So let me show you that. That way we can continue to move forward because, like I said, this is long. We don't need any fluff right now. All we need to see is pass next to our name. So let me show you that really quickly, and then we're going to move forward. Now, let me explain. So with my dashboard, it's funny because the thing is, I'm going to let you guys know now. If you do it like me or others where you're like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just going to buy the quiz bank only. And then when you see that you're not really learning or grasping or absorbing the material or the information, and you go ahead and you buy, if it's the Sherpass, if it's the intense prep, or if it's the 3-day live review only, it's going to be very different because what they're going to do is they're going to give you the same question bank. So what was good for me was when I now went ahead and stopped trying to cut corners and be around the bush. And third, I would say, trying to be cost effective is in that 2,000 something plus question bank, a few questions will repeat, but that's not all. Mind you, when I did my 800 something, I'm not sure, something along the lines of that question pool, I would say every readiness assessment versus every CAT, maybe 2 or 3 questions probably repeated, probably 5 on a few of them. But it wasn't like, okay, I got a whole readiness assessment and every single question that I got was a repeated question. So I know that I speak a little bit fast, so let me say this again. If you are purchasing Archer for the second time, meaning that meaning that when you first began studying, you got just the question bank and not in like an actual package that they offer, you will get questions that may repeat. Some people get questions that don't repeat because it depends on how many questions that you were doing before you actually went ahead and purchased an actual package with Archer. So and I must say, because it's like 2,000 questions, if you know that when you had your very first package with Archer, it was that you weren't really doing too many questions, or if you were, it all depends. All depends, but still, for me, I had maybe 600 questions or so when I was doing question bank only. So, but like I said, then again, not many other questions repeat because still, unless you're going to keep on going, I feel like maybe the further and the further you get into the questions, maybe some may repeat just a bit more often, but still, it's all for your benefit anyway to know and to understand. Okay, I remember that it was, um, let's say drop the precautions because of blah blah blah, everything that goes with drop the precautions. Got it? Cool. So now we're going to get into the readiness. I'm sorry, I'm looking at notes because this is lengthy, like I said. So please forgive me, but it's a lot that I want to get into specifically with Archer. So let's get into it. Next, we're going to talk about the readiness assessments that I've done. I've done plenty with every study material or study guides that you're going to be using. What I mean by that is what I mean by that is this. What I mean when I say study guides. If you're using Archer, if you're using Simple Nursing, if you're using NCLEX Crusade International, if you're using UWorld, if you're using Nexus Nursing, if you're using what are some of the, oh my god, NCLEX Bootcamp. That's what I mean by study material. They're all going to have their different methods of what is your probability of passing. Even ATI, they have like their POP, which is their probability of passing. Um, so with that being said, with Archer and which Archer specifically, because this is for Archer, they have their readiness assessments. If you don't, because mind you, I'm speaking to those who, if you haven't already, and people who are looking to purchase Archer. Why? Because of the simple fact that sometimes you just want to know or have an idea of what things look like before you purchase it. So enough rambling. Let's get into it. When I did with Archer, they suggest that if you have four high or very high in a row, that is your probability of passing, telling you that hey, you're ready to sit for the exam. Me personally, I get the concept of four, but my thing was okay, if they're saying four, let's say six or seven. Um, the more that I got into my readiness, I think I had like 11 or 12 in a row, something like that. 11 or 12, probably, 11 or 12 high or very high chances of passing. Let me insert the way mine looked so you guys can kind of see and compare and contrast. See what I'm saying? Just for a better understanding. So let me now insert that here. So as you can see, as I inserted it, that I was just so I wanted to make sure that I was well prepared for this exam because I think that four is great, and but it was just I wanted to just keep on going. I wanted to make sure that the information stuck. That's why you see like it's so long and so lengthy. What I did and what I did to patch just to have the peace of mind for me was that they Archer offers both a CAT exam and they also offer the readiness assessment. And I said to myself, okay, well think about it. If they're offering both and they're suggesting and they're pushing for you to take the readiness assessment, what does that go to show you? That probably goes to show you that maybe with the readiness assessment, the questions are a little bit more difficult. And me personally, if I'm studying and I'm looking to pass a state exam, saying that I am a safe nurse, saying that I know what everybody else knows, saying that I know how to go with the majority or what majority of cases or circumstances are based on the pathophysiology, you know, I wanted to give me to I wanted to be given the hard stuff. Because cat is great. And I'm gonna insert the way that my cat looks in just a moment. But but my thing is this. If they push readiness assessment, I wanted to push readiness back. Why? Because I feel like why do they push that so much? Why do they push that so hard? Maybe because those questions are a little bit harder than what you're going to get with the CAT exams. So let me now show you guys the way that my cat looks. Um, And when I decided to say, you know what, let's now push more with the readiness assessments and let's stop at the cats, because I was so I was so hungry to pass. So let me now show you guys the cat exams, like how mine look. So don't judge me, but I, as I got closer to my exam date, I was like, you know what? The hard questions, bring it. So let me show you guys that right now. Okay, I said you guys don't laugh, but still it's shorter because granted cat is good because it adapts to the way that you answer the questions. And cat is on a okay, so I'll put it like this so you guys can see. Cat is on a benchmark. And based on that would have been perfect, but oh well, because what I'm thinking, what I can show you guys is the way that the cat looks and how they score you. But as of today's recording, as of today's date of my recording, my subscription has expired, so I can't show you guys that. And I should have thought about that before I recorded this video, but that's fine. At least you guys can still kind of see how it's being scored. But anyway, so this is the pass mark for the CAT exams. So how it's gonna go is it's gonna ask you questions, and the more that you answer correctly, it's gonna go higher and higher and higher. That's how it is. If you're too borderline or too low, that determines a fail of the CAT exam. And I like how it adapts to you, which is a great concept because in the NCLEX world, the exam does adapt to you, but still I just wanted something that was difficult, and I felt like with the readiness assessments it was like a more course grading. That's why I'm more pushed towards readiness, and I kind of left the CAT exams alone, for lack of a better term. But um, I should have did that, but it's okay. You guys get the concept. So as long as you're here, as long as you're at that pass mark, you're okay. As long as you're here, you're okay. As long as you're okay. You go up, that's wonderful. That's good because you're above the passing standard. If you go below, and that's another thing too that I'm gonna show you guys as well. If you're going below it, or you're a little bit too much underneath the pass mark, that's when that can be an issue, and that can lead to a fail. So I do like the cats. It's not that I don't like the cats. I just felt like if they pushed the readiness assessment, they pushed readiness assessment for a reason. That's why I push more readiness, that you guys can obviously do a compare and contrast. I'm so sorry for the makeup all over my shirt, but that's just how it is when you are rushing to record. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get into the next thing, which is the Sure Pass, which is what I have here. Um, they have this if you have the SurePass, if you have the SurePass package, and also if you have the intense prep. Some people, if you have just the SurePass live review only, you will also have access to this as well. But remember, SurePass only, you don't have the quiz bank, so sucks. But that's just the way that they do things. That's another video for a different. That's another video for a different day. The way that they do things sucks, but alrighty. So with that being said, let's get right into it on the way that this looks and how and where is the link that you can like. What is it gonna look like when you're looking for this in particular? Because this is so helpful, and let's get right into this right now. So as you can see, you're going to go ahead and click on that. So, okay, although you do have it where it's downloaded and you can have it on your laptop and you can have it on your, I'm sorry, this book is super heavy. So I'm going to just put it down for just a second. On your laptop, on the tablet, whatever, on the phone, whatever. But listen to me. This is a board exam that you're taking to become licensed, obviously. You know the way you learn. If you learn by highlighting on screens, then you can do that where it's like, okay, you're going to go and highlight on your screen. That's fine. If you're one of the old school birds like me, where you learn by actually writing it down, you learn by actually having to see the book in front of you. Do that. Long story short, please do not cheat yourself or do not cut corners. You know the way you learn. You know the way you learn. When the instructors on Archer, they're going to explain to you, oh, you can highlight whatever. Yeah, on the book. But if I knew that I don't really grasp things in that sense, I want to have it in front of me, I went ahead and it was probably a little costly to purchase the ink. But I knew that it was for my own good because, mind you, I wanted to be one and done. My goal was to be one and done, to become one of these. So, in order for me to do that, I said, you know what, I'm going to, although I did spend money buying the package, yes, but I said, no, let me go ahead and print the book. So, really quick, because I don't want this to be super duper long, but I have to show you guys what I mean by when I'm saying highlighting, because if you don't know or you don't understand it, like I said, you would be lost. And this video is super detailed, and like I said, it may be a little bit lengthy, but hold on with me for just a second. So let's get into this. So let me show you what I mean by that. This is very very interactive. So let me put it up close so you guys can see, and but maybe not this one. This is respiratory. Let me just do something really quick so you guys can see what I mean. Okay. Let's get into because I mean, there's you guys want to do calcium or you guys want to do hemodialysis? Should we do hemo or should we do something with peds? But whatever. Anyway, I don't want this to be too long, so I should have already had the page picked already. But it is what it is. Anyway, so let's get into it. So let me show you guys what this looks like, and we're gonna continue to move forward. So let me just push it up a little bit, and then I'm going to explain. Okay, you see how the pictures are colored. And well, I'm gonna put it closer. You see how the pictures are colored, and they're like you can highlight if you like. You can highlight, you can underline. What's important is in red. You see all of that, and see like how the pictures are like spot on. Look at that. I'm just gonna put it in so you can see. Look at that. And what I also like is the fact that if you have notes or anything or something that you want to put further, I like the fact that you can put the details here. You can put the summary of the page here, and then the key terms you can put towards the bottom. Granted, I wish I would have just opened it up to one that had that all of them filled so you guys can see. But let me put it just a little bit closer so you guys can see. But then again, it's penciled, so you guys can't see that. So let me see if I can find one with pen so you guys can see it better, because with the pencil is gonna be really hard to see. I thought I put something here in an OB in pen, but no, just okay, perfect. Here we go. With the congenital heart defect. Okay, this is better. This is better. So VSD, whatever. But trilogy of Philo. Let's get into this. Okay. This is better. So here we go. Look at this. So with this, you see how I'm showing this page because you can see the notes better. Look at how, if you don't understand something. Okay, first things first. Let's start from the beginning. When they're reading and when they're teaching you, you see these boxes that are here. What you're gonna do is every time they stop, or they're gonna say, okay, guys, go ahead and fill in the blank. This is what you're gonna fill in the blank with whatever word they said. And what I like too is at the end of each lesson, there's a page that tells you, okay, hey guys, if you missed this, here are all the words. So if you thought that you missed it, that's fine because it's right here. So that's that. Look at the pictures that they show you. That's the baby. That's the baby right there having a TET spell. You see that? And here's more notes on the side that I'm talking about. There's also additional notes here. So what's here is, if you know, like when you do your rationales and you just want to take notes on the rationales, I said, you know what I did best, what I also did was I grouped my rationales. Meaning, if I had a practice, although I did this review, if I had a question on trilogy of Philo and I wanted to add extra notes that I did not know, I went ahead and I added it in it. That's what I mean by grouping the notes. You see what I'm saying? That way it all made sense. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make it work for you. And then look on the very next page here. What is this page? This is coefficient of the aorta. You know, when the upper extremities has the bounding and the lower has the coronal, and the lower has the weak or the absent pulses. So let me put it a little bit closer so you guys can see, just so that you guys can have an idea of, oh, okay, I see how interactive it is. Then you see how you can have all of your notes here on the side. Everything that's super important, you're gonna put that in there. Look at that. You guys can't tell me this isn't good. Look at that. Look at that. So, just with that being said, you have to, and me personally, I feel like it wouldn't have been good if it was on the laptop or the tablet or the phone. You get what I mean? Like, it stuck better because I was able to write it down. But still, if you learn on the laptop or the computer and it's digital, do that. But if you don't, I highly suggest that it may be a pretty penny to print if you don't have a printer and ink at home, but it's so worth it. So worth it. So that's that. Now we're going to get into the the archer exit. Let me insert a picture so you guys can see. My thing is this. I feel like the archer exit is okay. Honestly, would I recommend it? No. Why? Because I feel the way that they should score their exit is the same way that they score you when you get your very first baseline assessment with Archer. Why? Because you want to know, if you took the test right now, what is your probability of passing? And I feel that for some reason, which I thought it would have done it, Archer's exit lacks that. So let me show you guys the way that it's scored. Pretty much the same way that the readiness assessment and the CAT assessment is scored. So let me show you guys that right now. Alrighty, so with that being said, you see what I'm saying, the way that it looks? So let's get into the video library. So I'm gonna tie in both of these because they're all interconnected. With the video library, it's good, and it's good because it's very helpful. I will say this: if you've been out of school for a while, at least more than a month or two, or even 3 months at that, the video library is going to be very helpful. Why? Because it gives you a whole lot more in-depth detail of the things that you probably would have forgotten being out of school for a while. If you have just been out of school maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or yeah, like less than a month, most may be helpful, but you may not have to read. You may not have to watch all of them, because most of that stuff that you're going to remember because you just got out of school. But if you've been out of school for a while, you need to be paying attention to the videos that are going to be watched. What I would suggest, if you don't know where to begin with your weak areas. Also, if you don't know what your weak areas are, when you do your very first baseline assessment with Archer, they're gonna give you like a thorough, like the way that like a thorough explanation, the same way that the NCLEX is scored. Whatever you are below the passing standard on, that's what you're gonna work on the most, because you want to make sure everything is brought up, because you want to make sure exam day you're strong in every single category. So let me show you the way that the test plan looks, and if you're not sure on where to study or where to begin, they get the test plan, and you're going to go through, because Archer, and that's what I love about Archer. They have a video for every single. They have a video for every single category on the test plan. Let me also insert that as well. I think I'm probably going to insert all three because I want you guys to see the way that it looks. Why? Because it's all interconnected. Meaning, the exit with the video library, with the test plan. So let me insert that so you guys can like see and compare and contrast what it is that I'm talking about, because it's just gonna make sense when you see it. So let me insert that now so you guys can see. With that being said, if you guys can see, the exit exam is scored the same way that the readiness assessment is scored, and if of today's date, if you know, in order for you to take the exit exam, Archer's exit exam, not the one that's given to school, and not the HESI's for some of you other programs, no. For Archer's exit, you have to pay $29, and it's the same setup as the NCLEX, where you're gonna get where you can where you're gonna get, even if you're doing well, everybody's gonna get 150 questions. You cannot pause the exam. You cannot sit for it later. Like, it literally stimulates the real exam, and you cannot take it twice. All of that. That's fantastic. That's phenomenal. But my thing is, the exit should be scored the same way that the NCLEX is scored. I'm sorry, and the same way that when you take your very first baseline assessment is scored. Why? Because, okay, chances of passing high, but okay, or very high, or what have you, but still, let me know. Work on management of care. Work on oh my goodness, like, what are the I don't know. I had it, but still, everything on that, I can't. Wait, oh my god, oh my god. What are at least two more? Um, Clinical judgment. Yeah, that's under. Oh my, what, I cannot think of. Yeah, management of care. That's the first one. I can't think of the other two. Oh my goodness, what are the other? Oh my word! Wow, I'm trying to think. What are the other ones? That's on the test plan. Management of care for sure. But what are the other ones? I know clinical judgment is one of the ones that's for NGN. But anyway, still, I don't want to ramble, but everything else that's on the test plan, which was inserted, all of those things, I suggest you take notes, you write it down. You need to make sure that come your NCLEX day, you know to the T the stuff on the test plan that they're going to be giving. Granted, yes, the videos may be long. Some are 30 minutes, some are an hour, some are an hour and 30 minutes. You need to, do you want to pass? And it's been a while since you've been out of school, you need to make sure that you watch the videos. If it's been less than a month, or yeah, if it's been less than 6 weeks, and you're like, oh, you don't really need all that, then I would just say, okay, just click on the hype. Just, and that's the thing I like about Archer too, is that you can click through they give you options to click through the videos, where if you just want to see certain topics, you can do that. Like, let's say, for example, out of 22 topics, you only want to see 7. You can do that by just clicking on it, and it will show you just those clips of that video instead of watching the entire video if you are pressed for time. So I do like that they do offer for people who have just got out of school and it hasn't been a while, and they also offer for people who has been out of school for a while. So that is pretty amazing. So then I think that I already mentioned the way that the way that the scores are given for the exit. So we're gonna skip over that, because still, if the video is too long, I don't want you guys to be missing information because the video is too long. But in my opinion, I feel like if that would be one thing that I can add to Archer, is the fact that it would be great if they scored their exit exam the same way that they score when you do your first line assessment. Okay, now we're going to get into Spotify. Okay, so with Dr. Morgan Taylor, she is phenomenal. I love the way that she teaches. She sure has a passion for teaching. The way that she teaches, she makes nursing so simple, and she makes nursing so fun. Yes, I like the videos on Archer, but if you have Spotify, I would recommend that you do her page that's on Spotify. Is called Pulse Check, and I mean, it's the way that she explains it. Like nothing's complicated when she teaches. What I like about the test plan and with the vast majority of the videos, when Morgan teaches it, you believe me, you're gonna be okay. Granted, there are granted when you and that's the thing that I don't like. From what I've experienced, Morgan Taylor, she has not done any of the 3 day live review workbook thing like that. She hasn't taught any, but maybe because they want other instructors to teach. And some of them are okay. Some I would not prefer because they're super bland and blah with the way that they're teaching things. And you have to understand, you need to keep your students engaged. The ones that teach super fast, I like it because it keeps you on your toes. Believe me, you're not falling asleep with them. But some of the other ones that are super low and they speak like this and they drag their words, and I'm not exaggerating. That's just the way that they speak. But Archer wanted to give everybody a chance, so that's the way that they teach. It's like I'm just feel like me, even as a paying customer and as somebody who really really ate up Archer. When you're teaching us information, you have to come and bring it. You have to come and hit it out of the park. Like, you have to come with like this energy. Then you have the other ones that kind of move. If the ones that do this is like, okay, like I don't mean to ramble on, but you're teaching something that may not be easy for everybody. So I get it that want to give other people a chance by having them, go on here and share whatever information that they know. But if they don't have a passion for teaching, or if they don't find methods that work to help the students or keep the students engaged, I'm sorry, but me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I don't care what anybody says. Dr. Morgan Taylor, she needs to teach every single thing. Like I don't every single thing on Archer. She is phenomenal, and you can tell that she has a passion. I mean, it's just the way that she speaks is like, like the way that she's. Oh my goodness, she is a great instructor. She's like no other instructor compares to her. The only one that almost compares is the ones that they are going through it fast. Like the ones that are like, yeah, this is this and this is that. Don't forget this. Don't forget that. That's it's so good. I think because it keeps you like, oh my god, don't forget this. Oh my god. Some people don't like it, but still, you need to learn your teaching style. But Dr. Morgan Taylor, she has everybody's teaching style. No matter what your teaching style is, Dr. Morgan Taylor has it. She is phenomenal. And so I'm sorry. I sorry for my little mini rant, but she is stellar. Like she compares to Simple Nursing's Mike Linares, and she's just about up there with Dr. Sharon and Mark Clinic with the clinic reviews. Like she's up there. She is stellar. And it's something when I can't even say anybody else's name that teaches on Archer. I'm not even gonna say it, but I'm sorry. No disrespect, with all due respect, I'd rather Dr. Morgan teach OB and peds. Well, no, she does teach the peds. Teach L&D and NLB. Well, L&D and LB is the same. Um, yeah, they are the same. I don't know what am I saying. Well, I don't know what I just said, but I'd rather her teach it than that lady that they have. And I get it. You want to have somebody that's an expert in it, but if you're not really teaching it, that's just me. I'm sorry. That's just me. But Dr. Morgan Taylor, phenomenal, phenomenal with her teaching. Okay, so I'm sorry. Back to Spotify. I would recommend that you listen to the Spotify lectures. Why? Because the way that she's teaching it, it's like she's teaching you the NGNs, which are like the case studies, and the way that she breaks it down, and the way that she adds in her questions in the podcast, it helps you when you get your NGN questions, which is like I said, which is the case studies. So, in my opinion, as supplementally with your Archer review, you need to if you have a Spotify account. If you don't, I suggest that you get one. Just get the regular one where if it's gonna play ads, that's fine. Because when I did my when I was doing my post check with um Dr. Morgan Taylor, there were no ads. Maybe there are ads maybe in between the lectures, but It didn't stop it, it didn't pause it, it didn't play in between it, none of that stuff. But I feel like only because it's a podcast and they're speaking, and maybe if it's music, yeah, that's different. But because it's a podcast, it didn't do it. It didn't do that. But still, this is what I would recommend and suggest because I, from what I've experienced and what I used to pass, um, I know that both both the SurePass package in itself and the Spotify helped me when it came to Archer though, because remember I used four main things, and my four main was Archer, Archer, Mark Clinic, Simple Nursing, and NCLEX Bootcamp. But anyway, I know they say, "Oh, we can use a lot of information," but I'm telling you this now. There's, with all due respect, um, there's no one study material that you can use that's gonna have every single thing that you need, especially with this exam being NGN. And what I mean by is this: you see how I just show you the pictures on the page? What if you don't learn by looking at a picture? You have to see a visual. Guess what? Simple Nursing has visuals. Simple Nursing has like the mnemonics. Archer has the mnemonics as well, but Archer does not have visuals. They have pictures, but there are no animations. Is what I mean to say. And animations was especially with when I got chest tubes, the chest tube questions is what I mean to say. I was able to break it down because I remembered the animations in my head. But Archer doesn't have that. Simple Nursing has that. You see what I'm saying? So there's no one. Oh yeah, I did this only. No, and go all over YouTube. You're not gonna see. Oh yeah, I did one thing and that was it. And if people who did the one thing, they just got out of school two weeks ago or a month ago, and they planning on taking it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why. For me, mind you, I graduated August 2nd. I took my board's exam December 3rd. So with that being said, you see that large gap. I needed the full information. That's the reason why Archer worked best for me in terms of watching the videos. Because mind you, you're gonna see on YouTube people are saying, "Oh no, I don't have time for the videos," because yeah, they just got out of school 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, so they can say that. Because you're like, "Oh no, you did it and it didn't work." That's why, because they did just got out of school. So that's the reason why you're wondering how come you did what they did and it didn't work. Because the thing is, my love, when you've been out of school for a while, you need to be watching the foundational videos with Archer. Don't skip it. If they can skip it in pass, that's fine because they just got out of school, so they can do that. But if it's been a while since you've been out of school, the videos are going to help you tremendously, especially because you need to understand the foundation and the fundamentals of nursing. That's why I keep pushing the test plan on you guys, because that's what they're testing you on, the test plan. Anyway, that's enough for my mini rant for today. Yes, I would recommend Archer. Still, you have to know where you are with your testing and what's going on with it. Meaning, if it's been less than 6 weeks, yeah, give or take, I'd say 6 weeks, because still, it all depends on where you are. Compared to if it's been more than 3 months since you've been out of school, I've already did by comparing and contrasting. No need to go over that again. I would recommend Archer. Why? Because it's just still the way that they give things. Still, it gave me the fundamentals of nursing all over again, and I felt like once I understood that, I was ready to sit for the exam. Um, and so once again, if you guys want to see this next to your next to your with like when they ask you, "Hey, did you pass?" Like it's such a beautiful feeling. Let me insert that now so you guys can see, and then we're gonna continue off and close off. So with that being said, to close off, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I hope this helps someone out there. Why? Because I would have liked for something like this, or for somebody like this to go through, or for somebody to have to take the time to go through what it is and what they used on Archer to pass. Archer, like I said, is good, but if you've been out of school for a while, like how out of nursing school for a while, like how I have, this is what I use. This is what I did to use Archer 100%. There's no cutting corners. I'm sorry, but when it comes to this exam, there's no cutting corners. When it comes to their questions, for Archer's questions, how hard they gave these questions, I'm telling you, I don't know but it was like a compare and contrast with the CAT exams versus the readiness assessments. Yeah, the readiness was a little bit hard. I don't. It probably be that it's the same thing. Maybe they just purposely picked the harder questions to make sure that you're ready. That's what I felt like it was. But then again, still, that is just me. Um, but with that being said, I would suggest that based upon where you are, if you are a student it's been 6 weeks or less that you've been out of school, then maybe you can do the quiz bank only. But like I said, I would not recommend that. But still, you know what your last classes were when you were finishing nursing school, because some I know most schools are gonna push the ATI, and with the ATI they consider that when you do your the class that you're gonna do, either your HESI or your exit exam, that's the class that they consider that as an NCLEX exam class, like NCLEX exam prep class. But still, just me doing practice questions, it wasn't enough for me to understand and remember the fundamentals of nursing. So with that being said, if you felt like what you did to pass your exit or to pass your HESI worked, then you can cut corners and say, okay, you want quiz bank only, because you're gonna be fine. If you know all you did was just try to like memorize answers and just memorize concepts but not really had an understanding of it, I would suggest that you purchase the sure pass. Intense prep was okay, but I feel like sure pass was more okay. Let's pacify you and spoon feed you through this, so that way you're going to pass. But like I said, still that is just me and in my opinion. And yes, I did the whole 3 months because of the fact that I wanted to take the time to not rush it and actually understand what is the fundamentals and how to be that safe nurse on the floor. So that being said, I'm going to end it here. I'm sorry for the makeup all over my shirt. Like, oh my goodness gracious. And I'm gonna continue to report because I have like a whole series that I want to do with this. So I am so sorry if the makeup is bothering you. I mean, it is it is a lot, but still, it is what it is at this point. Our goal is, okay, what did you do to pass the NCLEX? I don't care about the makeup on your shirt. Tell me what did you do to pass, because I need my license, because I'm ready to work. Look at this economy. You just want something that's stable. You want something that, it's still a respected profession no matter what any government official states. Anyway, still, y'all know me, I can rant, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. You guys are my fellow nurse bays, and I want you guys to do well. So I'm so sorry that the video is lengthy. My apologies, but it's still for your best interest. So I said, you know what, God, please grant me the time to give these people the information, because I wish it was a more in-depth thing when I was choosing what I wanted to use to study for my NCLEX. And yes, I did pass my NCLEX. I passed it. I took my test December 3rd, 2025. I found that I passed December 4th, 2025, and I got my license December 5th, 2025. Yeah, it's like, I know most states you get all three the same day, but for Florida, that's the way that it is. Some people, they get the license on the day afterward, but maybe because I probably took mine on a busy day. I don't know, but I passed my NCLEX by the grace of God, and only by His grace and mercies. The third, I got my congratulations. The next day, the 4th, and I got my license December 5th, 2025. So yes, I am an Archer nurse, because you will hear Dr. Morgan Taylor say, "Hello, future nurses," all of that. Um, anyway, so that being said, I love you guys so very much. You guys are the best. You guys can do this. It may seem difficult, but please, if you don't understand something, I'm telling you, because even for me, when they were going over the congenital heart defects for the students, for the babies, and I couldn't I wasn't able to compare and contrast or have an understanding. What did I do? Go on simple nursing, and simple nursing had I'm telling you. But still, you have to know the way that you learn. And I continue to take, and Archer's gonna tell you, um, if you don't understand, don't just sit there, or don't just continue to move forward and you don't understand. You're going to go until you have an understanding. This is your NCLEX exam. No one else's but yours. No one else's but yours. Listen to me. No one else's but yours. So if you feel that it's something that they're explaining and you don't understand it, You need to seek further until you understand what they're saying. Either you're going to watch the video a second time, or watch the clip a second or a third time, or I'm telling you, go on. Simple Nursing will have it. With all due respect to Archer, they are amazing, but Simple Nursing is going to give it to whatever it is. Simple Nursing, 9 out of 10 times, Simple Nursing is going to have a video that's going to explain to you, if you didn't understand this concept, because on top of that too, you're going to see that with Archers, they're teaching off of a PowerPoint. So there are no animations like how Simple Nursing has animations. But you'll see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. It has been fun, but time to click off because it's getting way too long. And when videos are way too long, people are missing information. So, I love you guys so very much. Thank you for watching. Bye.